Hi there. So, meditation, the M word of the court reporting industry, probably, because our brains say, what? How? No. Yeah, you want me to slow down and clear my mind and don't think of anything, and that's going to make me write faster? Um, kind of, but not the way it sounds. Meditation is not what I thought, not for what we need to do to get the results we want. Meditation, God, I wish we need to come up with a better word. Um, Two things. There's the kind of meditating you can do, which helps you to just calm down and zone out and drop down into alpha brain waves. Meditating actually is the same as self-hypnosis. Oh, that's what we could call it, because everybody's always wanting to know, how do I do self-hypnosis? Because you're in hypnosis 90 to 95% of every single day. You're just running on a program that you don't have control over. So if you're consciously aware of the program that you want running, you're going to get better results in life, period. So part of what meditation does, and this came from a neurosurgeon whose deposition I was taking back in San Francisco, probably in about 2018 or 2019. And he said to me, for your students to get the chattery nonsense, the chattery mind out of the way during testing and during reporting, you need to practice not attaching to the thoughts that are going by. Okay, how do we do that? And he had the caveat of, tell them when they first start, and this is for all you newbies out there, that to do 1 minute, you can get as much benefit out of 1 minute once a day as you can from what you're fearing doing, which is probably thinking, oh, I got to meditate like, an hour a day, just going to nowhere for an hour a day. I know what my brain used to think, like, well, so now we're down to 23 hours a day, good going, Carrie, how are you going to accomplish anything doing that? Have you looked at your to-do list, honey? But that's my fearful, chattery, conscious mind trying to take control. It fears everything, the unknown, and everything's a problem, and it wants to be in control, even when there is nothing to be in control of. So, meditation, if nothing else, makes you have to pause. It's the one thing we don't do in court reporting. There's a compulsive element to this profession, which some of us just love. We hate it, but we love it. We crave it, but then we bitch about it. There's always another transcript due. There's always another job you can't say no to. Meditating, I'm going to call it that, I guess, makes you have to pause. And it will feel utterly uncomfortable when you first start doing it, because your brain is going to go on fire saying, this is not going to get us what we want. This is not the doing thing that we need to be doing. When you hear that up there chattering, it's wanting to do. It's not wanting to be. And then remind yourself, you're not a human doing, you're a human being. And we need to do things in our physical life, but the essence of our existence is to be, to drop down and relax into who we truly are. That's a different video. Meditating, it makes you have to pause, because the racing thoughts never do. The neurosurgeon that was so helpful to get me to try to start to understand this, said that, all you have to do is put a timer on for a minute and just sit in silence with your eyes closed and don't do anything except realize that you don't have to think a single thought. There are thoughts going by continuously. They never stop. Somebody said, I don't know, I've read this before, that you think like 70,000 thoughts a day. I don't know if you're thinking them or if your chattery brain is thinking them, or maybe it's a compilation of both. I don't know. Maybe it's 70,000 and that's the 95%, or maybe 70,000 is the 100%. We actually get a 5 to 10% slice of conscious awareness and thoughts in there. I don't know. But going into that 1 minute, that 1 minute gives you awareness that the chattery brain is not you, because you're watching it. You are observing it chattering, which means it's not you. You are observing it. It is a part of your tool in the brain tool bag, to be used for analyzing and solving problems. And that's your ego up there too. It wants to feel invaluable and utterly important. And so it is constantly in a state of chattering at you. What we need to do as reporters and students is to learn to not attach to that crap that's going on all the time. There are all kinds, I'll do a different video on that, but there are all kinds of concrete ways to do that. And they don't work for everybody. I mean, everybody is a little different. And for some people, all of them will work. For some people, one of them will work. Something will work for you. It's just a matter of figuring out what makes sense to your neurology and to have that be put into place and become a practice that helps you be on control, on top of and in control of the chatter and what you want to listen to and what you don't, because it is your choice. But until you take control of that, you don't have a choice. You are being subjected to it irrationally, and feeling like the victim in your own head of your own thoughts, and they're not your thoughts. They're the chattery, fearful ruminating of the part of you that wants to be in control. So closing your eyes, setting a timer for a minute, shuts out the outside world. It's the same thing that happens when you're writing quickly and you close your eyes, and yeah, your writing does get better because you're shutting out. You are 55% visual. And so when you close your eyes alone, if you just do that, you have shut out 55% of the stimulus coming into your physical being at any moment. It does make your hearing improve. It opens up your hearing because of your 100% and 55% of it is visual. Once you open that, close your eyes, you open up your 100% to kinesthetic and auditory. Well, your kinesthetic is you're writing on your machine. And so now you've eliminated the visual and you're down to auditory and kinesthetic. You're into hearing it and writing it, which is beautiful. Sometimes with a 4-voice test, you can't close your eyes. You've got to kind of watch for, playing whack-a-mole and who's talking. But for the rest of the time, for 2-voice, even on Zoom, I found myself just closing my eyes, and just hearing the voices once I know who's there, and that, especially if I've only got 2 attorneys, so I know who it is if somebody objects. It's just kind of an amazing, different experience, shutting out that 55% of visual. And in meditation, the breathing, there's no special breathing. I suggest that you take some oxygen in and let the byproducts of our physical existence that you don't need anymore be expelled when you exhale, pretty much at your own speed. That's my idea of breathing. Breathing makes us feel safe. And if you're feeling anxious, breathe a little deeper, breathe a little bit more deliberately, breathe a little bit rhythmically at what's comfortable for you. All the experts out there say that your inhalation should be a little bit shorter than your exhalation. And I guess it's like, okay, if it's longer on the exhalation, I guess that's a way of making you slow down a little bit deliberately. And that active breathing actually tricks your brain. The slow, deliberate breathing tricks your brain into thinking that you're safe. Because if you weren't safe, you'd be up here breathing very shallow and very fast, getting ready to run from danger. And so your brain kind of goes into a moment of, wait a minute, we're breathing really slow. I guess that means we're safe. And all of the rest of it will sink into relaxing. Your heartbeat will drop and your breathing will automatically stabilize at a place that's comfortable for you. What we need to do, as our neurosurgeon friend said, was to not attach to the thoughts that are going by in that 1 minute. And it's amazing after a few practices how quickly the minute seems to go by. And you'll get to where it's like, oh, that wasn't so bad. It's just a minute. It's like speed, what do they call it? When you hit it really fast and then you just drop back and rest. And you're just hitting it really differently for a minute and then coming back into your ordinary life. I want to make sure I cover all my points here. When you're in that moment of meditation and just watching the thoughts go by, it actually allows other thoughts to come. It's kind of the same as journaling. When you're slowing down this part of your brain deliberately, it allows the other part, the beautiful, blissful knowing part, to have a voice and to come to the surface. And so that moment of just pulling back, shutting out the outside world, and being the observer inside you, it lets some magic happen. And it puts you in a practice of being in control of the thoughts that are up there all the time anyway. It gives us time to explore the inner us. Some people get so loving meditation that it's like it's their time to allow their brain to just drift and float and explore another part of you that we in our waking hours never have time to explore. So 1 minute, close your eyes, take a deep breath, let it out. Enjoy 1 minute of not having to do or say or think anything. Just observe what's happening and go from there. Enjoy.